Hey, YouTube. Hey, sorry about that, you guys. Hey, check it out, man. My computer died. Straight up. My bad. I was not paying attention to the power level. Wasn't plugged in. And straight up. Pow. So that being said, oh, give me 1 second here. Grab some. I'll move right back. We're gonna continue where we left off. I just want to collect my thoughts real quick before we get serious because we're diving into it now. But all right, so where was I here? I was gonna say, right before the computer shut off, the main reason I'm doing this is for my kids. It's like this struggle in this wheelchair, and this is a pittance of the struggle I could endure for them, and if it wasn't for them, I probably I wouldn't want to endure it. And that's straight up. So you guys, Jasmine, I love you. Ruby, I love you. Zane, buddy, I love you so much. Like, I love all of you so much. It's just like, so don't worry. I figured it out. And I didn't give up. I didn't quit in this isolation here. No quitter. So I've had a lot of time to learn and to study and to educate myself and to push through the struggles. And don't worry, guys. I love you, kids. I love you so much. Like, it's gonna things are gonna get better, so much better for the whole family. I promise. Every single one of you are gonna get so blessed, and that's why I do this. So that being said, here's what I've researched and deduced. My brother, after showing me his crypto portfolio, he left it with me and told me it was mine. I said, "Bro, I'm all in. Like, I need to make my money because I'm on Social Security disability, and my ability to earn the income in which I was able to, and I was positioned." One struggle after another, but nevertheless, I've had way too many great opportunities that I've let slip through my fingers for selfish behavior and selfish reasons, just being not living for the right purposes. And now I am. It's kind of weird. I get paralyzed, and at least my head gets knocked on right. So there's a reason for everything. And so I took that crypto portfolio and I looked at those cryptocurrencies he had on there. And I'll share it with you guys too here right now. I don't know if you'd be too thrilled with me. I can't even remember them all, but I'm going to remember every single one of them I can. I'm going to share it. I'm a fucking gatekeeper. But I'm not going to share the reason why he looked up and researched all of them, because all the ones that then I might mention some here, folks, that are not part of the quantum financial system. They're not the new railways. They're not the new, but they are very sound. And I'm not here. This is not financial advice. This is simply financial education. And again, I want to give a shout out to Jeffro. Hey, bro, if you, hey, you keep showing up, man. So on that note, I'm gonna keep showing up, and I'm nervous as fuck right now telling this story because I never know how it's gonna resonate with people or whatever. But it ain't the how it's going to. It's the why I'm doing this and how I'm getting this accomplished and how I've kept going even through these. The system is rigged, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I want to start off with the experience. And it was interesting. So my brother shows me his crypto portfolio. I tell my mom about it. Mom's like all in, does research, takes your whole 401k back in 2020, late 2021 or whatever. Mom's says XRP is for me and literally buys like 24,000 XRP. And I think her average buy-in was $1. And this was in 2020, 2021. And what did XRP do after that? It went back down to 42 cents. So it was a great time to accumulate more. Don't trip by the dip type shit. But when you FOMO into the, so first of all, experiencing FOMO. Like I pumped to my mom because I was like, this is a fucking winner. This is a no-brainer. Mom, don't do what I do with Bitcoin. Don't let the opportunity slip by. Mom. If I had, I would do. And she's like, all right. I'm like, Mom, this isn't like this isn't get rich quick Ponzi scheme. Just consider it like hitting the lottery slowly, but you're hitting the lottery. Then it's almost like a guaranteed lottery. You get to choose how much lottery you want to hit based on how much you get. And so Mom researched it, and she fucking said XRP's for me, and she was on like the XRP army. She's like fucking telling her friends, guys, you need to get this shit. XRP's fucking going some places. It's just, and Mom went down the global adoption. I didn't really know how vast Ripple was like growing in its infrastructure and in its world economic dynamic for the QFS. Because I didn't look at positioning, I look at numbers. When I was looking at price numbers going up, and and so if I just when in doubt, zoom out, folks. There's always that. I'll say that right now, not financial advice, but when in doubt, zoom out. All right, and so my experience was I started looking into because my brother was like, you need to look into crypto, and started looking at. So I went into the like day trading aspect of crypto almost, but on coin market cap. And so, for example, like this was in 2021, probably like early 2021. And I'm looking at coin market cap and like they had like 11 to 13,000 cryptos in there at the time. And I'm like, there's a lot of cryptocurrency. There's always thousands of cryptos. How many currencies are there in the world? I'm trying to look and make all these analogies. I'm like, well, we only got 300 some countries. Or anyway, why is there currencies? Well, currencies for what? And then I'm like, why there happen to be? Well, there's meme coins and this and that. And that's a whole nother sphere, crypto, part of the crypto sphere. Different dynamics of the crypto sphere. And meme coins that pump and dump. I'm sure you've all, and maybe some of you even watching this right now or later or whenever you're seeing this right now, you'll realize pump and dumps the pump and dumps are real. And that's in the meme coin, specific meme coin. Now, why are meme coins pump and dumps? Well, currently in the crypto market, when you have a whole market dynamic that's really the price of cryptocurrencies is a supply and demand. And so when you're buying and supplying, you're buying up the supply, demand is high, price goes high. How much is something worth in that regard? Well, really only what someone's willing to pay. And depending on how much you have, I mean, it's just we're not going to get into all of that. Let's just sidetrack because So at any rate, I started diving and looking at all these crypto. I'm watching the crypto meter. I'm watching the amount of cryptocurrencies go up and up and up and up and up and up. Like, and over 6 months, they increased by like 5,000 tokens or more. I was just like, what the? And I kind of just stopped looking at it because I had no way personally to, like, if I came across, I see the market was down, like there's just red candles everywhere and red on all prices and everything's going down and it's down days, and the market's dumping or whatever. And I'm surfing through coin market, I'm stumbling upon like gems that are shooting up in price. I'm like, what? And, man, if I could be trading on these right now, that's where And so, but I got discouraged. I'm like, I don't know. And I even told my brother, hey, I can't trade. Like, what am I going to do? Day trade on this? I have no way to do that. And he's like, well, just keep doing. And I didn't know he wanted me to like really just keep plugging and playing, but I was getting depressed seeing all the money like slip into my fingers. And so, lemonade. And so I kind of stopped looking. So I was always researching, always looking at information, but not looking up like not looking up charts and things like that. Not looking at, that was just kind of like I would look for price movement. I was looking for price movement. I want to see red and green in the prices. Price is green. How much is green? Where's it going? That's how I was determining things. I didn't know about Elliott wave theories. I didn't know about quarter charts theory, which in the cryptosphere doesn't mean shit because there's well, uh, yeah, I'm gonna get into all that. Fuck, there's bots, there's algorithms on these insider trading bots. There's trading bots that are used by big asset management companies and large corporations, and now they're also allowing retails to take access to the insider trading bot algorithms to increase the amount of dump and pumps that they can accumulate based on not only their money but retail money too. And so they don't have to use other. And what that's about, folks, is again direct market manipulation. But then you're spreading out the manipulation to even retail. So recently, I came across a post on TikTok, and I had made a comment on somebody's post, and this gentleman was saying XRP to 4,763 by the end of the year. XRP to 4,763 by the end of the year. And I jump into the comments because I'm like, come on, hypester, Jesus, come on. And I didn't say anything rude, but I said no, it's gonna get there for sure, but not by the end of the year. And someone made a comment below. Someone made a comment to my comment and said, "Hey, there's something about insider trading bots going to be used." I made over 67,000 using the insider trading bot, and I made a comment that I I'm a day trader, and I've taken 15 months to really dive into this, and not just the couple years before that, looking at pricing and like looking at chart movement, but the last 15 months, I have been day trading damn near 7 days a week, 365 fucking days a year. I've got thousands and thousands of trades done. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not bragging right now. Hey, fucking, I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you how it all started too. And then we're gonna dive into the payment railways. And let's just dive into the payment railways. Fuck my trading experience. You guys want to hear my day trading experience? I'll talk about all that on another thing. We're not going to dive into that. However, that's been a journey. Now, on the journey to figure out how the market is being manipulated in the trading aspect of it, I have learned a significant amount of information regarding XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, like the new quantum financial. The ones I didn't really know too much about were like IOTA, Quant because wasn't going to buy any, couldn't afford it. I'm not looking at this, so I can't. Wasn't looking at things I wasn't invested into personally. So I didn't have any quant. I was looking at quant, but I was looking at XRP. I was researching XLM. I was researching the shit out of HBAR, XDC, and what a wormhole that's been. Because where, as a trader, there's things like trend lines, market sentiment, bullish news, bearish news. It's a very dynamic aspect of the crypto sphere. And unlike other coins and most, like even stocks and shit like that, when you're a company's got some good news in the stock market, or they got some good news for the company in the news, man, stock's gonna be going to the stock. You're getting that just blown up, you know what I mean? But you hear about bullish news in the crypto sphere, especially with some of these ISO 222 compliant tokens, these railway tokens, these QFC, quantum financial system, monetary units of measure. Did you hear me right, folks? I just said dropped some bombs right now. And not just global monetary units, but also a universal monetary unit. Wow. What are you saying, Zane? There's a lot of information here, folks. I don't want to just, I want to drop bombs. This is a bomb dropper. And this is for you, Jeffro. This is part 2 of this free bud. So I'm looking up these ISO 222 compliant tokens first and foremost. And when my brother gave me that list, on his list, he said, I want you to look up XRP. I want you to look up XLM as it's XRP's little brother. And he told me this when he first handed me the list. And was throwing me a couple of bones to connect the dots. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what you got going here. And I start looking into it, and I'm looking up Ripple Labs. Ripple is a San Francisco-based fintech, digital asset company, global blockchain company, distributed ledger, finance, and I'm like, oh, weird, they're in San Francisco. I just moved from Marin. Oh wow, and look at Jeb McCaleb and Chris Larson and fucking Jack Ryan CEO and what's going on here, and then the bear market of 2022, end of 2021 or mid 2021, is bear market starts rolling. Ripple gets taken. Ripple goes to court with the SEC, and the price tanks, and it goes back to the bear market, basically. But a bad bear market. Whereas the other tokens had jumped up in volume and come down for some, a little retracement as is normal. XRP went back down to way lower than it was pretty much. What? And so again, don't trip by the dip when you do your research. That's an opportunity. That's not a miss. That's not it's an opportunity. So I really start to research Ripple, and I'm diving into things. I'm finding information on okay, so Ripple, XRP, Ripple. I'm going to go over some just straight facts right here. The company Ripple has purchased several companies for financial acquisitions. Hidden Road recently, G Treasury, Metaco, which is a tokenization platform that was globalizing token. Tokenizing things globally, and then Ripple and another company started the MICA Crypto Alliance. And I'm like, whoa, what's this, bro? Look, you see what Ripple's doing? They started the MICA Crypto Alliance. And like, whoa, what's this? And he goes, yeah. And every time I think I came up with some information, my brother's like, yep. I'm late to the party and shit. I'm like, dude, you already fucking knew, all right. So I quit trying to throw news at my brother because he fucking knew it all. He was already dialed in. I don't know how long he's looking at Ripple and knows just that. Probably the algorithm of the information he was giving me, like, because he's always showing me juicy tidbits and things. I'm like, wow, bro, like, oh. But Ripple buys Mataco. Mataco's a tokenization platform. Like, that's interesting. What are they going to be like? And so then I'm watching, and then I'm seeing XLM, and I didn't just find out until recently that XLM has a Sorbonne protocol with a Rust language for smart contract programmability, interoperability, and tokenization implementation and application onto a network. Interesting. Now, again, just recently, what's this? How am I going to share all this information? Okay, so recently, Ripple Labs had an EVM sidechain that rolled out on the XRPL. And with that being said, the EVM is an Ethereum virtual machine. It's a sidechain that allows the XRPL to be interoperable with Ethereum DeFi apps, Ethereum tokens that can now move upon and be moved on the XRPL via XRP as the gas token, so that the burn rate increase on XRP, which is going to, as a deflationary asset, drive the supply down. And as a valuable asset, it will drive the price up. See correlation there. Now, here's more facts. Year to date, there's been, I believe, like 16 million XRP burned. 16 million. But you can only burn XRP by transacting on it. Yeah. And how much XRP would you need to have transacted upon to burn 16 million XRP? Pilot program, no pilot program. They're transacting on XRP to a point where they've already burned 16 million or so, 14 to 16 million. Now, with that burn rate, maybe amplified, because when they go live on the 22nd of this month, be it the financial institutions, the IIF has required, or no, I'll take that back, expected financial institutions to be ISO 222 compliant and architecture operable, so that they can now transact on cryptocurrencies on a global scale. Now, looking into that, I would then dive into XRP. Let's go over XRP real quick, because it's going to be the number one. And I'm not an XRP hypist, you guys. It's not like I'm fucking stroking Brad's fucking Joker or nothing like that. It's not how this is going down. This is just fucking data, market analysis of like positioning global. And when you like put all of these amazing variables into a Metcalfe law, you get a 10,000 XRP as a fucking base. What that's thinking. And it's not a price projection for XRP. I'm not giving you guys hype. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not going to give any price projections as I don't know. But do I encourage my friends and family to grab XRP? Yes, I do. I encourage it with a happy heart and a clear conscience and good vibes the whole way. With love, integrity, and honor, I encourage the shit out of that. Why? Because of all these. Look at recently, we have Ripple, the company. They are literally partnering with every single bank from Zanzibar, from the South Cape Horn, okay, to North Ireland, into Scotland. The Royal Bank of Scotland partner with Ripple, and we can let's go over to anywhere, you name it. The only place that probably that isn't that I know of, and just let this sink in, the Ukraine. Ukraine. Guess what? Moscow's on board. They're going to be working with Ripple using XRP. Folks, I'm not making this up. This is research done, and I would love for anybody who watches this, who wants to go ahead and call me wrong or say something silly in the comments. I'm only spitting facts. Everything I say is factual. There's no speculation. There's no conjections. There's no hypothesis. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at this point. And I've got some wins for you folks. And I've got some don't expect anything's on real quick here. Okay. So again, gosh, let's go through with XRP. So look, you guys, XRP, they acquired Medico, what is the Hidden Road? All right. Now, Hidden Road, a year prior to being acquired by Ripple, had created a strategic alliance with Deribit. And who bought up Deribit? The world's largest futures derivatives trading company in the world. Who? You say Coinbase? I think it did. Oh, look. Does that mean Ripple, and Coinbase are strategically aligned via different companies they purchased with? Yes. So does XRP probably going to get the chunk of the pie of fucking Deribit settlements and shit? I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. Is Ripple partnered with the DTCC? And the DTCC is looking to possibly be settling about 10% of settlements using Ripple. When? Soon. But not soon enough. What's this aspect of let's go back a little bit. What has to happen first in order for that to happen? Well, there are specific architectures that are going to allow other blockchains or ledgers, dark pools, hidden networks with institutional flows already passing through them. I'm dropping fucking bombers right now. God, people are gonna call me. You know what? Call me Tyrone. I swear, folks, it's happening. Do you think that the financial institutions, do you think the global conglomerates, if you will, who owns HBAR? Oh, Boeing. Oh, they're big. IBM. Oh, who else? Oh, who owns XLM? Jed McCaleb. What's XLM for? XLM is going to be used for the people's XRP. Okay, you guys. So XRP is going to be the global bankers token, so to speak. You know, it's not just a bankers token. It's going to be the big dog. You know, the big one. If in fact there is a XRP flips that Bitcoin dominance and becomes the number one token, XRP gets that dominance. Think about this. What does that mean for crypto? Because whereas Bitcoin's volatile because it's really only worth what someone's willing to pay, when you have a multi-trillion-dollar asset class, like tokenized real-world assets, RWAs, that are applied via the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain for XRP at least, because it needed that interoperability with the Solidity ecosystem, Solidity language ecosystem, and the Ethereum DeFi apps, and all that goodies that are ran on that current, ETH eco. Mandatory to have those for private ledger and public ledger convergence, unifications, folks. And here's the kicker: HBAR, hidden networks on HBAR, XLM Stellar, hidden networks, Ripple XRP. Yes, there's private dark pools. There's a private ledger that mirrors the XRPL, but it's private, and they're running institutional flows on it currently. Like when I say institutional flows, well, you can't burn 14 million, burn 14 million XRP with a burn rate of 0.00001 XRP per, right? Okay, 14 million of them burn out. What kind of pilot programs are you guys running over there? And speaking of pilot programs, look up Ripple. I mean, I don't know if you guys have Alexas or whatnot, or how most folks are searching their information. But we'll just make it real simple. If you have an Alexa, ask your Alexa about the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and Ripple Labs with the EKHD pilot program. See what it says. Another juicy one, ask about the Fubon Bank in Hong Kong working with Ripple Labs. What pilot program are they running? Ask about the Tokyo Monetary Authority working with Ripple Labs, the British Monetary Authority working with Ripple Labs. There's I could go on. The South Korean Monetary Authority, the North Korean financial sector. There is, China, Inner China. Look up Liam partnered with Ripple Labs recently. The Central Bank of Mongolia, folks. So again, they've already positioned themselves pretty astutely for where they're going to be in the new quantum financial system. The Mataco partnerships, like with HSBC, Mataco's been down in Africa, tokenizing the shit out of Africa. I'm pretty sure that they went over to, and I have to look into Mataco's personally, but I don't think the Mataco is giving personalized, private, tokenized commodity information to a private ledger yet. Not yet. But do I think that there could be? Because what? There's whole beaches over in the Ivory Coast, I think, full of diamonds and shit. Beaches, they have government patrols the beaches, and there's fucking diamonds. So it's crazy. So, be that the case, and maybe they're token. I know that the Saudis over in the Middle East are tokenizing oil barrels, and are they going to be stabbing that on the XRPL? Because I know that the Vivo Power, the Saudi Arabian conglomerate over there, energy conglomerate, just purchased $121 million worth of XRP as a strategic treasury reserve. And that went along with Wobus International, which purchased $300 million as a strategic treasury reserve. Then there was Trident, purchased $500 million as a strategic treasury reserve. Here in America, we had companies like Quantum Biopharma purchasing 100,000 of XRP as a strategic treasury reserve. There was a company down in Florida called Wellgistics Pharmacy, and they purchased like 50 million XRP as the equity line of credit. We've got other companies. There's BC Buzz at 250,000, ACG at 5 million. We've got Worksport at 10 million. The list keeps growing. Oh, ExxonMobil happens to and they're not calling it a strategic treasury reserve, but they have 26 million, 26 million XRP. And they're looking to acquire another 100 million. Why? Possibly. Well, I'll tell you something funny. ExxonMobil has been transacting with XRP since 2019. They partnered with Ripple in 2018. 2019, they're using XPay. but they're not telling anybody because they don't want to be. They don't want to. They're not trying to get slapped with any injunctions by the SEC for transfer. Like moving money at whatever. I'm gonna want. I don't think this is gonna get. I'm only relaying facts, folks. So, be that the case, XRP is definitely ran on private ledgers. Now, when the public and private unify, is there going to be an explosion in price? Yes. Is it going to be the kind of unification that's going to make transparent who's on the public as to who's on the private? No. We might have the data that's able to be relayed and added to the private or the public ledger's current value. And so I believe also that there is a substantial, and this is a speculation, this is my, if it's not sitting there, it's still sitting at Medico. I mean, there's a shitload of RWAs that have been globally tokenized by that company. And I don't know how many it's, I think 131 million maybe already, maybe more, probably more. 131 million publicly. So definitely a lot more. But how much, I don't know. Will that be accessed when the unification happens? Yeah. And will that explode the public price to the private, ledger's potential private price? If that's the case, yeah. Also, we have the burn. There's so much things. So let's look into a couple of these other coins before we get too far into it. XL. So XRP is going to be the global standard for financial institutions, big money to move money. It's going to be big money's ability to move their money. And retail, it's not a retail coin. If you have XRP, fucking scored, woo, winning. Will you be allowed to keep it? Or will you more be revealed? Get it off of an exchange. Always keep your stuff on a private cold storage wallet. Maybe do like a Caleb and Brown or somebody, just get it off of the exchanges, folks. Not financial advice. Just that would be a better, more safer positioning. Now, when they created XRP, there was a gentleman amongst the group. His name was Jed McCaleb. And Jed McCaleb branched off. Now, I'm going to throw some thought here at you folks. Because this hasn't been proven. Because there's something going on with the X factor. XRP, XLM, XDC. All right. And then we've got ALGO, IOTA, ADA, Quant. But these top three, these first three X's, and then there's XCN for, it's getting geared for, I believe, or was it? It's retail, possibly real estate, not business real estate, but like retail real estate. Looking at that more, I believe they're looking to become ISO 222 compliant. So there's definitely an ecosystem building there. And it's building fast. It might be so the X factor, right? Is it good to have all these X tokens? Possibly. Why? Because they're all interoperable. They're all getting geared for specific tokenized real world financial positions. Real estate. We have XCC for the world trade finance. We have HBAR for retail transaction and moving like retail volumes of money. So for people who get paid, they want to move, whatever. HBAR's partner with Swift. They just launched the Australian AUDD on HBAR on the Hashgraph. So there's definitely institutional grade money coming in there. I believe IOTA is going to be launched as a CBDC for Marshall Islands. Like it's a weird, yeah, what? It's a micropayment. Oh yeah, IOTA is like a micropayment fucking system, probably for micro. It's, what is Marshall Islands? One of the smallest, like for populated places in the world. Smallest, countries. Small countries. Maybe you get IOTA. I'm still trying to piece all together in that regard. But then we have ALGO. Algorand is going to be working with the DTC. It's basically an XRP peer for DTC compliance. And there's huge projections for Algo. I don't know if you. I'm gonna give some shout outs to some YouTubers on here. If you guys know who Crypto Hulk is, go check out his projections for Algo. It's the reason when he did. The guy's a fucking legend. My brother told me to start looking at check out Crypto Hulk. And this was like years like 2022. Like who? Crypto Hulk sounds goofy as fuck. And then I went and checked him out, and he's fucking sitting there in front of his coffee table with his little laptop, just being himself. And I'm like, yeah, this fucking dude's all right. And then I'm like, so he's got he hits hard with some facts. He goes, well, he's like trying to disprove anything that fucking dude had. Like look up everything, disprove that dude. And so I'm like, all right, bet. You can't be perfect. Dude, ain't no fucking perfect about anything. Shout out to fucking Crypto Hulk. Hey guys, fucking if he's talking about it, it's because he knows he's got some kind of line on some threads. So check that guy out. He's good shit. Good fucking good tuber. If he's looking into specific projects, maybe look into it too. Do some research of your own. Always do your own research. But I heard about Z-Bag from him. Got into it. I heard about it. I didn't do anything based on what I heard. I went researching myself and said, yep, that's a winner fucking chicken dinner. And I'm extremely up on it right now. So there's that. So with these payment railway tokens, you guys, we've got XLM, which is going to be XRP. It's going to be the people's XRP. So Jed McCaleb, so get this. XRP could have taken care of all of these fucking positions, right? They could have taken care of the whole global everything. All of it. And didn't fucking need nothing else. We only need XRP. Seriously. How's that sink in? But they can't do that. They can't. You can't. You can't have the fucking one coin that rules them all. That would be a monopoly. Ooh. In America, we have laws against that shit. Now, does that affect big pharma's fucking sway on things? No. But we do have laws against that shit. And so Ripple, not wanting to and wanting to cross all the fucking T's and dot all their I's before they position themselves in what they're doing, they're like, well, we can't do everything. We can't monopolize the crypto market. We can't be that one fucking. We have to have. And they thought it out. And they're like, Jed, get the fuck out of here. Jed, take off. Go over to the EU and create XLM. Or go over, create XLM and then go to the EU and offer it up and we'll back you, So that's what Jed McCaleb did. And Jed McCaleb already knew about the smart contract inefficiency and the protocol to enable the private and public ledger convergence and the tokenization application onto the network to allow the native token to receive the said value that it's supposed to receive in order to be a global monetary unit. These guys, man. So again, right now, current market, pump and dump. It's a meme coin fucking fest. Everything's a meme coin right now. Period. And what's worse about that is it's an orchestrated, like, there's orchestrated liquidity grabs. They have insider trading bots trading against retail traders. The price droppings and dumpings is based on retail trades and liquidity sweeps and leverage sweeps. Um, I told people I got the blueprint for the quantum financial system. And I'll right here in this order. In this order, biggest to smallest, best gainers to probably smallest gainers, but I'm not going to say least important, but maybe smallest gainers. Um, XRP, XLM, XTC, HBAR, ALGO, IOTA, ADA Quant. I believe 8 is Cardano. Right there. Those 8 can't go wrong. I mean, if you're looking to, most of those right now are underperformers because this market is not financial advice. But if you're looking for a way to break free of the financial system, that would probably be one of your best bets. All of those. And don't just, don't buy or sell or trade anything based on anything you hear me do, because I'm not doing this for me. This is for my children. This is for my kids. This is why I day trade. I've had to learn to day trade because this is, I'm not going to be that guy in the wheelchair, the dad that gave up. I don't know. There's no give up here for my kids. No matter what happens to you, no matter what you go through, no matter what life curveballs throw you in life, it's not what we go through, it's how we come out on the other side that really punishes the person. So, I'm back. Dad's here. Dad's going to be here soon. Kids. And that being said, folks, so this has been a definite epic adventure. I don't want to get into the whole manipulation the market is going through, but there is definite market manipulation right now. There is, let's go over some time rollouts real quick. What's going to happen? So the ISO 222 compliant tokens and railways and system, the architecture is going to be going live on the 22nd of this month. And here's what we're going to see in price discovery things. Nothing. Probably nothing. Why do you say that? Well, I simply say it because I'm not trying to gate. I'm not deceiving myself, trying to hype myself up based on the available data that is in play. So, for example, I didn't know, I just found out recently that the Stable Act of 2025 was, and it's actually the Stable Act of 2024, okay? And they called it the Stable Act of 2025, 2026, or some sort. No, they called it Stable Act of 2026. Some weird, at any rate, once it goes into an enactment, then there's a 6-month relay time for appeals to come in, someone to fight it, some shit. Nothing happens then it goes into effect. And then from that point, there's a 12-month time period and this is for the altcoin utility application, because the SEC deems meme coins akin to collectibles. Okay, you have no safety. There's no back. Yeah, you get ripped off from a meme coin. Well, that's your fault. It's like you're buying a Pokemon or I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh or some crap. You know what I mean? Like a baseball card, a hockey card. I don't know. It's a collectible. Now, utility tokens are not collectibles. They're utility tokens. And with that being said, there has to be an application of the utility to the token in order to call it a fucking utility token. Because right now, It's supply and demand, no utility. So what has to happen to these utility tokens? Well, go figure. There's an EVM sidechain on the XRPL now. Built into the architecture of Hedera is an EVM. Built into the architecture of XDC is an EVM, an Ethereum virtual machine, allowing for the interoperability with the DeFi apps and the Solidity smart contract language that's used in the Ethereum ecosystem. Now, one of these, the XLM, doesn't have Ethereum virtual machine, but guess who does? Algorand does. So there's that huge play right there. Do you see that? You see the dots connecting? Like, in order for these railways or ledgers to have the value that is inherent for them to need to have on there has to be a tokenization rollout of real world assets. And there's been accumulation, a severe accumulation, but I don't think there's been the rollout. Now, there was $100 million worth of RWAs, tokenized real estate, put onto the hash graph just recently. That's like a fart in the wind when it comes to RWAs in real estate and global, $100 million. That's like putting $1 on it. Like fucking, wow, what did you guys put on there? A golf course or something? Let's fuck out of here. So, Hedera just partnered up with a company in Singapore called InvestaX. It's a tokenization grade A platform, tokenizing grade A RWAs, world assets. So there's going to be this huge tokenization application. Everyone's stocking up. Everyone that needs to get positioned. Look up the XDC network. They already tokenize things. It's part of their architecture. They have tokenization built right in, and they already have the EVM. So these railways, R3/4, XRPL, the Hedera the network, the XLM network, these are like going to be railways. Then there's IOTA, which will be another railway for, I believe, micro payment or smaller countries. Algorand for DTCC and real estate. And then we've got Quant, which is going to, or ADA. And ADA is my brother's thing. I didn't really check into it too much, folks, because I don't have any. I have none. I have no ADA. No Cardano. I don't have it. Would I want it? Probably a winner chicken dinner. Not financial advice. Don't buy or sell or trade anything based on anything you hear, but that's kind of like it's part of the architecture. I just found that out recently too. So again, I found that out yesterday. I'm not a gatekeeper. When I find shit out, I share it. Wasn't planning on making this, but I am. So Quant is going to be the glue that not only holds them all together, but allows them to flow and interoperability, and integrate seamlessly. Quant. Price discoveries. I don't want to share that. I'm going to share that shit. I'm going to share it. But timeline, expect nothing, I believe, until you guys are going to like this. Don't expect, okay, so on the 22nd and 25th, we may see a little bit of the increase in some prices on maybe like XRP, HBAR, XLM. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Probably. But probably not as much as people think. And then what's going to happen? Price will go up, and then it'll start retracting slowly again. Where will it come to? Here's my you have to think like big money, and you also have to think like, how is this market ran? And this is going to get deep because I don't really want to get into the whole trading aspect of it all. how liquidity pool or liquidity grabs are made. But here's probably what's going to happen, folks. Trying to think like big money and share it with you, and be transparent and shit is what I think we're gonna see. And again, not speculation, just deductive analysis. If it doesn't do this, I'll be happy because it'll be going up a lot. Okay, so if it doesn't do this, expect some who knows where new prices with retraction at the top, but I mean it could go up to $10. So who knows where new? Who knows where new? But if it doesn't, here's what will happen: is it'll retest the 366 level and come back down. All right, and I believe big money will slow play it and slow walk XRP down because they own it. Um, Bitcoin will be slow played too a bit. Or no, Bitcoin may explode. It may explode Bitcoin up and then just keep XRP and the utility coins down, because there's a 12-month period from when the Stable Act gets initiated that they have to apply that RW, like those tokenized real world assets or any sort of inherent value that gives the native tokens in the ledger, utility. What gives it utility? Well, how much value are you putting on it, right? No value, no utility on the ledger. You don't have any RW. You have no inherent flow of money or liquidity on that ledger, or that's being stored on the ledger via RWA tokenization. Then what the fuck is the ledger worth? Like what's that native token worth? Well, it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. Supply and demand. Very simple enough. And so these native, like I said, within a 12-month period, I believe, of get it, April of 2024. No. This year, 2025 is April. They passed the window. Let it know. Now here's the shit kicker. If nothing happens on April, which is possible too, because it just was brought to my attention that even when the Stable Act went into legislation, but then there's a 6-month period that they have in order to appeal it, find flaws within it, change it, do something to it. So what if April, and what's 6 months from April? December? Or no, October. Harvest Moon next year. Worst case scenario, Harvest Moon next year. Best case scenario, we see it go up all the way until Harvest Moon next year, or just whatever, maybe April. I would think hopefully April Fool's Day we'll see huge. I'm hopefully want to see April Fool's Day. Why? Because it sounds about what big money would do. I'm not a cynic. I'm not being cynical. I'm not like, oh, you're dire, you're cold. No. It's literally like, think of it. On February 3rd, when the market did the biggest crash the crypto market had ever seen in the history of crypto, February 3rd, 2025, right? Big liquidity grab. Why? Because retail traders are feeling bullish about the market, the sentiment. And they were like, and the current crypto market is ran on leverage, and it's a leverage-based market. And when you have insider bots trading with algorithms against retail, that's fucked up casino. How do you stay safe in that? Well, I could tell you. DM me if you want to know. I don't want to say it on here because I'm not going to alert the powers that be that their system is. Well, you know what? Fuck it. The way it works is this, folks. These insider bots, they are set to. You ever notice? I don't know if you ever did. If there's any day traders that are going to watch this at this point, but if you ever take a trade with anything more than you're doing. I don't know. I know people do 20x leverage. I know some people do 50x leverage. I know some people do 10x leverage. If you take a trade that has a liquidation level that's snipeable, very snipeable, those bots are going to snipe it. And if it doesn't go down right then, and it doesn't happen to go up too much, they're just waiting to accumulate more at a level possibly where you're at to snipe down to liquidate, to take, yeah, it's bad. It's bad, folks. It's bad. Now, how do you stay safe in that kind of environment? One, if you're willing to, if you're willing to trade on a digital asset, not financial advice, it's financial education. If you're willing to trade on a cryptocurrency, and I would recommend one of these ISO 222 compliant tokens because they will not go to zero. They're not meme coins, and they haven't had any utility applied. So what does that mean? They're going to be volatile until they're not. And what happens when they're not? Price discovery, moonshot, boom shot. Hooray, hooray, today's the day. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. And if you're in a trade with some leverage on it, not too much or a lot, however you can afford to do it, that's really what it boils down to. Because to stay underneath the insider AI bot trading algorithm, you need to make sure that your liquidation level doesn't exist. And you can use as much leverage or as little leverage as you want or can afford to use. The more leverage you use, the more you have to have in your liquidity pool to make sure that your estimated liquidation price is fucking zero. And then you don't alert the algorithm. If they can't zap it, now can you keep it extremely low and still be safe? Yes. Is there potential price points where these algorithms aren't even like put to look for? Yes. Do I know what that is? No. So what do? I keep my shit as low as possible. Because I just saw some crazy shit on the 12th or on the 10th of October. I got liquidated. And that was the final, that was like the final straw. Right there, I'm like, whoop. And so I then did some deep dives, folks. I had to go and talk to the boys, and that's how the algorithm said there is an algorithm as an insider buy. And then I got a validation on it on TikTok when some dude jumped into one of my comments on it on somebody's crypto post and said, "Have you used an insider AI trading bot?" And I said, "You piece of shit, what?" Oh, why? Because you can't trade? You don't know? And then it got even darker because now we've got big money insider trading bots and their algorithms being allowed to swing over to the retail sector so big money doesn't have to throw as much of their money into the market to dump when they want to dump. They just let the bots do it for them and they use retail's money to fucking trade against retail. Yeah. But that's not good. That's the current crypto trading market. So if you want to trade safely, make sure you trade with a zero liquidation level. I don't care how much liquidity, how much leverage you want to use. You apply that one simple but quintessential element to your trading, or if you haven't ever traded before, you're welcome. You'll never lose. On that note, you guys, look, I'm going to say too much tonight, but maybe not enough. Join me on the next one. I hope it's been real. Get out there and make money, make money. Don't let money take money. Make money, baby. Let's go.